Tonight, you are going to listen to a calm story. A story with simple words. A story that helps you relax. A story that helps you learn English. Without effort. Take a slow breath in and breathe out. Let your shoulders relax. Let your thoughts slow down. Now, let us begin. The Quiet Lighthouse by the Sea. There was a small village by the sea. It was a quiet village. Not many people lived there. The houses were made of stone and wood. They stood close together like old friends. Every morning, the sea spoke softly to the land. The waves moved slowly. The wind was gentle. The air smelled of salt and freedom. At the edge of the village stood a lighthouse. The lighthouse was tall and white. It had been there for many years, long before the villagers could remember. At night, its light turned slowly, round and round, guiding boats safely home. Inside the lighthouse lived a man named Elias. Elias was not young, but he was not very old either. His hair was soft and gray. His eyes were calm and kind. He liked silence. He liked routine, and he liked the sound of the sea. Every day, Elias followed the same simple rhythm. He woke up early. Just before the sun touched the water, he made a cup of warm tea. He sat by the small window, and he watched the horizon. He did not hurry. There was no need. After tea, Elias cleaned the lighthouse. He checked the stairs. He cleaned the glass around the light. He made sure everything was ready for the night. The lighthouse was his responsibility, and he cared for it with quiet love. One evening, something changed. The sky was soft with clouds. The sun was going down slowly. The sea was calm. Elias was preparing the light, as always. Then he heard a sound. Footsteps. Soft footsteps. This was unusual. Very few people visited the lighthouse. Elias turned around. At the door stood a young woman. She looked tired. Her clothes were simple. Her eyes were curious but unsure. "I'm sorry to disturb you," she said gently. "My name is Mira." Elias nodded slowly. "It is all right," he replied. "Please, come in." Mira stepped inside. She looked around with wonder. "I've never been inside a lighthouse before," she said. Elias smiled. "It is a quiet place," he said. "Good for thinking." Mira nodded. "That is why I came." They sat on 2 wooden chairs. The light outside became softer. The sea grew darker. Mira took a deep breath. "I feel lost," she said. "I don't know where to go next in my life." Elias listened. He did not interrupt. He did not rush. When she finished speaking, he said calmly, "Sometimes we do not need answers. Sometimes we only need light." Mira looked at him. "Light?" Elias stood up. He lit the lighthouse lamp. Slowly, the great light began to turn, round and round. "Boats do not know the whole ocean," Elias said. "They only need to see the next safe place." Mira watched the light move across the sea. She felt something inside her relax. The days passed. Mira stayed in the village. Every evening she visited the lighthouse. Sometimes they talked. Sometimes they stayed silent. Elias taught her small things. How to listen to the wind. How to feel time without looking at a clock. How to sit quietly with your thoughts. One night, the sea became angry. The wind grew strong. The waves crashed loudly. A storm was coming. Elias moved quickly but calmly. He checked the light again. He cleaned the glass one more time. Mira watched him. "You are not afraid?" she asked. Elias shook his head. "The light is strong," he said, "and I trust it." The storm arrived. Rain hit the lighthouse. Thunder spoke loudly in the sky, but the light stayed steady, turning, turning. Boats in the distance saw it. They followed it. They were safe. Mira felt a deep calm in her chest. After the storm, the world felt new. The air was clean. The sea was quiet again. Mira stood outside the lighthouse. "I think I understand now," she said. Elias looked at her kindly. "I don't need to know everything," she continued. "I only need to see my next step." Elias smiled. "Yes," he said softly. That morning, Mira left the village. She hugged Elias gently. "Thank you," she said. He nodded. "You will find your way." Years passed. Elias continued his work. The lighthouse continued to shine. New travelers came. New stories passed through. But the light stayed the same. Calm, strong, patient. And every night, as the sea moved slowly, the lighthouse whispered the same quiet message. You are safe. You are guided. You are not lost. Now, as this story comes to an end, let your breathing slow. Feel the calm. The lighthouse light is still turning, somewhere by the sea, and you can rest. Good night.